Good evening, friends. Let's start our discussion for today. But before we do that, let's do a quick recap of what we did yesterday. So, yesterday we started our discussion on acceptance. And we saw that for a valid acceptance, you need two things. One, it needs to be absolute, and it needs to be unqualified without any conditions attached to it. Today, we are going to understand what happens when acceptance is not absolute and unqualified. And that will be the topic for today's discussion, counter offer. Now, some of you may wonder, why didn't I teach counter offer when I was teaching offer? Because it looks like this is also a kind of offer. But let me tell you, counter offer makes sense only after you've understood acceptance, and you will get to know this today. Without understanding what a valid acceptance is, you cannot understand what is a counter offer. That is why we did not discuss counter offer while I was doing the offer series. So let's understand the meaning of counter offer. Simple definition is a counter offer is an acceptance with variation. Now we have two important keywords here. One is that a counter offer is also a kind of an acceptance. But what kind of acceptance do we have here? We have acceptance with variation. So we discussed earlier that acceptance, a valid acceptance, needs to be absolute and unqualified. In case of a counter offer, which is also a kind of acceptance. And what kind of acceptance? Acceptance with variation. This keyword is important here, variation. This clearly implies that counteroffer is a kind of acceptance which is not absolute and unqualified. And therefore, a counteroffer is not a valid acceptance because an acceptance with variation which is what a counteroffer is no valid acceptance for the purpose of formation of an agreement. So, if counteroffer is not a valid acceptance, then we must ask one question: what is the relevance of counteroffer? What is the relevance of counteroffer and why are we studying about it? The law says that counteroffer is actually a new offer which is made by the offeree to the original offerer. We will understand it with the help of an example. A is the offerer, B is the offeree. A makes an offer to B. Hence, A is the offerer, B is the offeree. What is the offer? A tells B that I want to sell my bike to you at rupees 50,000. Will you purchase this bike from me? A makes an offer to sell his bike at rupees 50,000. This is the offer from A to B. What does B do? B says, yes, but I will buy it at rupees 40,000. Now we saw yesterday that in order for acceptance to be complete, the offeree needs to accept all the terms of the offer as it is. In this case, B has not agreed to the actual price which was offered by A, and therefore we do not have a valid acceptance in this case. But the moment B counters A's offer, so in this scenario, if you pay close attention, you will notice that B has countered A's offer by offering a different price, which is rupees 40,000. The original price was 50,000. As per law, this counter by B is a counter offer. This counter by B, you can say this counter proposal by B is a counter offer. So now we have a clear idea of how a counter offer is given. First step is offerer makes an offer to the offeree. Second step, offeree does not give an absolute and unqualified acceptance, but rather proposes a different term, meaning he is giving his acceptance with some variation. He has not agreed to all the terms of the original offer. This acceptance with variation, that is with a different term proposed by the offeree, is a counter offer. Clear? And if you want to make it even simpler, just say counter offer is a counter proposal. Means somebody is offering you something and you counter that with your own proposal. So if you let's say get an offer from a company that we will pay you 1 lakh rupees per month, but you say that no, I will join you only if you give me 1,50,000 rupees per month. So the original offer was from the company was that it will pay you rupees 1 lakh per month. but you countered it. You gave your own proposal, which is that I will join you at 1.5 lakh rupees per month. This is what is a counter offer. And since acceptance needs to be absolute and unqualified, therefore, the moment an offeree adds any new term, condition, or qualification to his acceptance, there is no valid acceptance, and it rather becomes a counter offer. Now, what is the effect of counter offer? So till now we understood what a counter offer is. Now we'll look at the effect of counter offer as to what happens when a counter offer is made. Logically speaking, we saw that a counter offer is nothing but an acceptance with changed terms. Okay, it means that we do not have any agreement in case of a counter offer because there's no valid acceptance. Now, what does counter offer do then? Simple answer is, and this is a point that you need to keep in your mind at all times. A counter offer puts an end to the original offer. It means that once a counter offer is made, the original offer is rejected. It is automatic rejection the moment a counter offer is made. The original offer is rejected, which means that the original offer cannot be revived by accepting it later. Let me simplify this for you. Let's come back to our A and B example. In this case, A had made an offer to B to sell his bike at 50,000 rupees. B did not give an absolute acceptance because B proposed a different price, which was 40,000 rupees. We just saw that if a counter offer is made, what B did in this scenario was that he made a counter offer by proposing a different price. And we saw that the moment a counter offer is made, the original offer is rejected. So in this scenario, A's offer gets rejected the moment B made the counter offer. Let's say A does not agree to B's counter offer. So when B told A that I will purchase your bike, but I'll give you only 40,000 rupees. A says no, I won't accept 40,000 rupees. And B realizes that A will not budge. A will not change his mind. So B tells A that, okay, fine, I will purchase your bike for 50,000 rupees. Whatever you said initially, I'm fine with that. But let's say A now refuses to sell his bike to B. A says that, no, I won't sell it to you now because I came to you in good faith, but you rejected my original offer. Therefore, I won't sell it to you now. What happens then? Can B sue A that I accepted your original offer, and since you're not selling it to me, therefore you have breached the agreement? And B's contention is that A made an offer and B has finally agreed to that offer. And when there is offer and acceptance, there is an agreement in place. What do you think will happen in this scenario? Apply the concept that we just saw. We just saw that the moment a counter offer is made, original offer gets rejected. It means that when we proposed a reduced price or a different price, which is 40,000 rupees, A's offer no longer exists. It means that when there is no offer, doesn't matter what you agree to, there is no offer in place. If there is no, and when we were discussing offer, we had clearly seen that an offer is the starting point of an agreement. So when you don't even have an offer, then there is no question of having an agreement. Let's look at it with one more example and in a bit more detail. There was a case where this is an actual case. Again, that A and B case that we saw, similar kind of case. In one case, before accepting an offer, keep in your mind the A and B example that we saw. The offeree introduced new terms which were not a part of the original offer. A and B example that we had seen, A had proposed something, B introduced a new term. B introduced a new term which was the reduced price. This reduced price was rejected by A. Basically means that when the offeree introduces new terms, and when these new terms are rejected by the original offerer, the original offerer in our example is A, and later the offeree tries to accept the original offer. The court rejected the acceptance. This is the example that we saw, A and B example. When A did not agree to the reduced price which was offered by B, B sued A, saying that I conveyed my acceptance and you did not follow the agreement that we entered into. The court said the acceptance given by B was not a valid acceptance because B introduced a new term. And the moment he introduced a new term, it became a counter offer. And therefore, it is not a valid acceptance. Therefore, the court said it is not a valid agreement. We'll look at one more example. A offers to sell goods. Let's say something, to sell some goods to B at a fixed rate. B says, I will buy it at a lower rate. Now this clearly shows us that B is making a counter offer. A does not accept this counter offer. and he also does not withdraw. And he also does not withdraw the original offer. It means that when A offered to sell goods to B, let's say A offered to sell his pen to B at rupees 10. B said, I will buy it at rupees 9. So B is making a counter offer. A rejects that counter offer, saying that no, I won't sell this to you at rupees 9. But A also does not withdraw his original offer. That original offer still stands. And B, after realizing that A will not agree to his counter offer, B ultimately says that I'm ready to buy this pen at rupees 10. Question is there a contract? Is there an agreement in this scenario? Apply the principle that we just discussed, what the court had said. If you apply that, our answer would be there is no agreement. Why? Because the moment B made a counter offer, the original offer expired. Even though A did not withdraw his offer, but vis-a-vis B, that original offer is dead. Once rejected, the original offer is dead. It cannot be accepted later. And many a times you will come across questions in CLAT where you will see modified terms in acceptance, which is essentially reduced price. So offeree will offer a reduced price, or offeree will attach certain additional conditions to his acceptance. The moment you see these things, any modified term in acceptance, be it reduced price, be it any condition, immediately think, oh, this could be a counter offer. This is rejection of original offer. These things should come in your mind immediately. That this is a rejection of original offer, which means that there is no agreement yet. Okay, so let's summarize what we learned today. So today's summary is first point is something that we saw yesterday also. Acceptance must be absolute and unqualified. Second point, acceptance with any variation, any change / variation is no acceptance. Third, such acceptance with any change or variation is a counter offer. Effect of counter offer is that a counter offer rejects the original offer. And lastly, in case the counter offer is rejected by the original offerer, The original offer cannot be accepted later unless the offerer himself renews it, which means that if the offerer himself says that okay, even if you did not agree to it initially, I make an offer to you once again. But otherwise, the moment a counter offer is made, the original offer is rejected. This is the rule of thumb. All right. If you remember these 5 points, counter offer questions should not be difficult for you. All right. So try to practice a few questions vis-a-vis counter offer. If you Google it, you will come across a lot of passages. You will come across past year questions on counter offer, and then you'll be able to understand how counter offer actually works. And I'm sure if you paid attention to today's class, you will not get this wrong. That I can promise you. In the next class, we will discuss more about acceptance. As I said, counter offer is also a kind of acceptance. Therefore, we did not discuss it with the offer series. And today, after having understood what an acceptance is, it was a good time to understand what is a counter offer. And in the next class, we will talk more about acceptance. We will see what other conditions are associated with acceptance in order for it to be a valid acceptance, and in order for such an acceptance to constitute an agreement. Okay, until then, see you. Bye bye. Take care.